Yeah, he's not here right now, Mike. But Rayo, year two, I'm up to a 70 overall from an 8 overall. An 8 overall, bro. 8. I don't think you understand, Rayo, what it's like to try to run with a player who has 1 for speed and 1 for acceleration. That shit, at the beginning, I streamed it the other day, and at the beginning of the stream, I streamed the first like offensive and defensive drives for the FCS game. It was insane. It's like if you attached a 200-pound weight by a leather strap around the waist of your guy and then put him underwater. It was hilarious trying to watch him run. Oh my god, he was almost running in place. It was hilarious. But yeah, so every game I lost by over 150 and some of them over 200. In the first year, it was fucking nuts. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. When you see me kicking people over the next couple days, they're all sweats. Possibly. Dude, he does not belong in those leagues. Like he All right, you hollered at him. That's over. Tell us how you really feel about it. Hey, Mike, can you remind me what words get you banned off of Twitch? No. What the fuck? Get off Tinder. Hey Rayo, you remember Darren McFadden? Just answer the question. So, you know the baseball player that just recently signed a $765 million deal? Okay, well, a baseball player literally just signed a $765 million deal. Darren McFadden tweeted, 765 mil, I should have learned how to hit the ball, not hit the gap. He said, I want to play a real game, not a walking by week. Why the fuck would I have an Oculus? No, I don't. Not particularly. Well, I was gonna watch it, but y'all just left. This QB prospect's name is Jose Officer. Alright, so I was gonna do just the recommended, but apparently recommended's not showing me 3 stars that are actually interested in the team. So we're going to actually try to get 3 stars instead of the 2 stars that the game is trying to suggest for me to go after. So do I want to go after ML Poole, a scrambler out of Lexington, Mississippi? Mississippi? Yeah. Or do I want to go after Jamario Murphy, scrambler out of Conway, South Carolina? They both got us first. Fuck it, we'll go after both of them. I know we need like 4 running backs here, so let's see. Bunch of them that have us first. So let's look at the highest rank. So we got Chet Overhauser's and receiving back. I don't really care for them. Mashoud is a receiving back. Khalik Pierre is an elusive back. We'll add him. Chad Queen is a receiving back. Nick Snead is a power back. We'll add him. Cunningham's an elusive back. And Nathan Tabor's a receiving back. John Okereke's an elusive back. Let's go after Kofi Hogue as well, just to have an athlete on there. We don't need any wide receivers. We do need some offensive linemen though, so let's see what we got here. We need some pass protectors for the outside. 1, 2, 3. And we'll go with one that has us first. What do we got at guard? Got a pass protector, agile. What about center? Any good centers? We'll go with that guy. Alright, defensive end, we want speed rushers. We'll go power rusher if we need to, but we want speed rushers. This athlete power rusher, we'll go for him. Go for speed rusher Connor Hendricks. D tackle, we need a couple of these guys. Let's see, power rusher, we'll go with him. Run stopper Silva. Go with George Mandarino. Outside linebacker, we could go with one power rusher. And one pass coverage. Although, what is this John Pierre? He's a power rusher as well. We'll add him too. Middle linebacker. We can use a run stopper. We'll go with 2 run stoppers there. Cornerback. Let's see. So there's a zone guy. Another zone guy. We'll go with those 2. Wolford is a slot. I don't really care for the slot guys. We'll go with the man-to-man guy as well, Matt Hutchison. So we got a zone. He's a JUCO. Let's try to stay away from the JUCO guys. Sampson, Silas Sampson. We'll go with him. And let's see, with Addington, he's a hybrid, but we could go for this guy, Spriggs. He's zone. Yeah, we'll go with him. And then let's add a couple athletes, because athletes are fucking king in this game. See, this guy's a wide receiver, so we'll go ahead and add 1. Position tight end, we'll add him. So that's our board. I'm gonna add these, set these guys up in relatively national rank order. Alright, so that's the order we'll go with. Hopefully we'll get a few instant commits here. Maybe not though, we are a one-star school, so. that hasn't won a game in FBS yet. So. So no instant commits, but it's alright. Alright, so let's do what scouting we can. We're not going to worry too much about scouting, but... A lot of broken gems, that's alright. We still can't be... We're still beggars, we can't be choosers. We are a one-star program that hasn't won a game yet, so... Oh look, this quarterback quarterback prospect though is a gem. Alright, let's get into the season. Just checking notifications real quick. Alright, so we did improve from an 8 overall to a 70 overall into our second season. Let's see if that equates to any wins this year. We're still looking for quantity to fill our roster in. We did get quite a bit of good recruits. I think we ended up with 33 recruits total. We had a couple of the 12 overalls that did actually increase quite a bit. Not a lot, but a handful of them. We did cut a bunch of them or encourage them to transfer. A bunch of them transferred for apparently thinking they were going to get playing time elsewhere as a 12 overall. Well, you know, we'll see, but we'll see if we can improve this even further. Oh, I didn't mean to do 15 on him. Is it just me, or did they change the colors on the Dynasty, like on the motivations over there, the grades? Like the greens look yellowish now, or almost like a lime green, and the reds look more, I don't know, like a darker red. Is it just me, or does it look like that to anybody else too? Is my TV screwing up, or what's going on with that? Alright, this is mostly a sim dynasty. This is just to rebuild a team. It's mostly sim. I may jump into a game here and there, or if we eventually do make a natty or a conference championship or something like that, I might jump into it. But there will be a lot of simulation here. This is not one of my play dynasties where I play the majority of or all of the games. About scheduling visits here, we're going to probably lose on every one, but you know, that is what it is. Alright, so this one's probably going to be Hometown Hero, so campus lifestyle, I'm assuming it's going to be big here, so we'll sell that on his visit. Not going to be a whole lot I can do in the recruiting, because I only have 350 hours, but as guys start to drop off, we'll be able to consolidate our hours. All right, our first game is going to be against the Houston Cougars. Got locked out of anybody. Fout still isn't at top 5. Swaim is, and we got the visit scheduled, so let's go ahead and set the hard sell. I'm willing to bet it's going to be Hometown Hero. So we'll pitch that, and then I'm going to take the 10 off of him real quick to be able to schedule a visit here, but not completely abandon putting time into them. Alright, so we know proximity to home, so we're going to pitch that. And we will simulate and probably get our first loss against Houston. And we did lose to Houston, as expected. That's okay. Doesn't look like we got locked out of anybody. Fouts is now in top 5. Let's go ahead and schedule a visit. We're going to schedule him for the bye week. Because for us right now, that's, well, you know what? Maybe let's, well, we're not going to get any bonus from beating the FCS team anyway, so we'll do the bye week just in case we lose again. Because we did lose to an FCS team 84-0 last season, so. And I'm willing to bet this guy cares about playing time, so we're going to pitch that. Now I'm going to add the 10 back here. And for Jean-Pierre, I'm going to hard sell. We know proximity to home, we know pro potential, that can only be the clutch, which we don't have good grades in, so we're just going to go, we're going to try to sway. We're going to try to sway him to campus personality. And we'll put the 10 back on. Let's see, we're both 0-1. Let's see if we can win our rivalry game. Ironically, we both play in the same field. And we did not. We lost to FAU. We're still winless in the FBS, in our FBS endeavor. 3 Oregon Ducks are in the top 3 positions for the Heisman. Interesting. Alright, let's look at recruiting. Alright, let's do our hard sell here. So for him, it's going to be time to get to work, which we don't have the worst grades in. See, does it... Those colors look a little off to me now. We're looking good on Swain. Am I the only one? Do those not look off? Now it's like the, I don't know, the colors are just more pronounced, but also not. I don't know how to explain it. Like the green looks more yellow. The yellow looks almost muted. The orange looks more red, and the red looks more bold, I guess? Like, I don't know. It's weird. USF is keeping a lead on this guy. I need to be able to add more time to him. We need to go ahead and lock up the Swain recruitment. Take the extra time off of Swain and move it over to Jean-Pierre. Alright, let's advance and see if we lose to an FCS team for the 2nd year in a row. We did level up, and we did lose to FCS for the 2nd year in a row. Let's look at what the score was for that. So, last year, we lost every game by about 140 or more. Except for the FCS game, it was 84-0. This year, we have lost 31-21, 28-21, 34-10. So we're at least putting up a more of a fight than we did last season. But we are still winless in our first year at the FBS level. Still have not got a commitment, though it does look like we may have gotten locked out of somebody. Yep, so Samson committed to Duke. Alright. So we're looking good for Fouts. Swain is just right there, man. Come on. Let's add this extra 10 back and see if we can't close out Swain. The sway has not worked yet on Jean-Pierre, but we have taken the lead. So I'm gonna, because we're so close to a commitment with Jean-Pierre, I'm just gonna take off the sway, and I'm just going to go full send the house. And then try to close out Swain here. Recruiting, and we did get both Swaim and Jean-Pierre. Cool. So just looking at them real quick. So Swaim is a 3-star gem scrambler quarterback, 6 foot 216, athlete. So he could end up grading out at a different position, but currently projected as a scrambler quarterback, 35th overall ranking for quarterbacks, 26th in the state of Ohio, and 482nd in the nation. Just a quick interesting note, this is the second year in a row that we've gotten a 3-star gem quarterback out of the state of Ohio. Keegan Jean-Pierre, an outside linebacker, power rusher tendency, 6'3", 230 out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, ranked 13th at his position, 61st in the state, 540th in the country. We are very close to securing our other quarterback commit, Kai Fouts. Keep the pressure on there, although you know what, we can actually take off the additional hours to put elsewhere. I think we've got a secure enough lead and we're close enough to a commit to do that. Jamario Murphy, our other quarterback, because again we do need 3 quarterbacks this year because our cupboard is very bare. And we are looking good on him. Nobody else is pursuing him as of right now. We are unopposed on Rico Lorenzo. We are unopposed on Trendon Spriggs. Unopposed on Matt Hutchison. However, we are in a race for Deshaun Short, so we are going to add some time here. We are unopposed on Emil Poole. We do have some competition for Isaac Prude, so we will add hours here. Unopposed for Silva, unopposed for Graves, unopposed for Sneed, unopposed for Mandarino and Case Vaharn, Tufel. We are likely out of the race for Kalik Pierre, so let's take him off the board. We are unopposed for Sermons. I'm gonna say we're out of the race for Virgin as well. Unopposed for Hogue. We are going to be out of the race for Rattay. Unopposed for Hendricks. We are absolutely able to stay in the race for Parms though, so let's go ahead and load him up with hours. Week 7, yeah, we can do a week 7 visit for him. We will pitch Campus Lifestyle, and we will add on these extra 10 hours on top. Try to stay ahead of FAU. Alright, let's simulate the game with UConn. They are 4-2. We are on the road, so that does not look good for us so far. We are 0-4 now. Alright, let's see. Let's look at our recruiting board. Alright, so we did get the commitment from Kai Fouts. He is a broken gem, but he's a 4-star. We're a 1-star school, so that's okay. Scrambler quarterback, projected as a quarterback. He is an athlete, so that could change. He is 6'4", 192 pounds, out of Carrollton, Georgia, ranked 7th overall in the country at the quarterback position, 6th in the state of Georgia, and he is 117th ranked nationally. I didn't think about it, but we do actually can look at the scouting here for some of these guys. So he doesn't look horrible. His speed is not great for a scrambler quarterback. So I wonder if that is because of low skill caps there, but his acceleration is a 91, which makes me think that his speed could improve. But he's got 90 throw power, which isn't bad. Good short and medium accuracy. I don't see his deep accuracy on here, so that's concerning, especially because we do see a 66 on here. But his throw on the run is 83. His throw under pressure is 75, break sacks and 86. So overall, he looks like a solid prospect. He's got bronze and option king and off platform, silver extender, and then for mental abilities, he's got silver field general and bronze clear headed and winning time. So he doesn't look like a horrible prospect despite the broken gem. All right, did we get locked out of anyone? I'm not sure. Let's see. All right, so let's assess our board. Alright, so with Deshaun Short, he has moved to top 5. Let's go ahead and schedule a visit so we can try to keep ahead of FAU and USF. We'll schedule it for next week against Liberty. Proximity to home is important to him along with campus lifestyle, so that means we do have a good hard sell for this guy. It's going to be campus personality, which is one of our best pitches. Put 25 hours on there. Alright, so with Prude, he has jumped to his top 5 as well. He is also campus personality, which is great for us. We'll put him also on the Liberty visit. We're going to pitch campus lifestyle. We'll add 30 hours on top there. And then for Parms, now FAU has jumped out to a big lead. Let's see if we can jump back into this at all. Alright, so his is also going to be campus personality, which is great for us. So let's load him up with as many hours as we can and see what happens going forward with him. Alright, so we are out on James Rodriguez. But we are definitely in on Kenyon Bolin. So let's see, we know his pitch. No, we can't do a hard sell, but we can do a soft sell. There we go. You know, I'm going to say we're out on Nchakwu. So we can put another 5 on this. In fact, you know what? I'm going to take the 5 off of Prude here. And I'm actually going to switch that to a hard sell on Bolin. Alright, let's advance. And we got our first FBS win. We got our first FBS win. We have defeated the UTEP Miners 31-17 in our first win. And let's see, we had one more first down. Had about 45 more total offensive yards. Our rushing was pretty decent. Had 3 passing touchdowns. 1 rushing touchdown. Let's look at the player stats. So our transfer quarterback, Timmy McLean, threw for 205 yards with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked 3 times. Our transfer running back, Hashan Wilson, ran for 12 carries, 103 yards. And our backup running back, Monty Watkins, ran on 8 carries for 22 yards with 1 touchdown. Receiving yards, so we actually had 3 receivers score touchdowns, so it was passed around pretty well. Again, the running back got 1 of them, so he had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. He had 4 catches for 47 yards. Hajrulahu, who is a true freshman, had 3 catches for 60 yards, 1 touchdown. And Chuck Montgomery, one of our transfers that came in, had 2 catches, 29 yards, 1 touchdown. We had our right tackle allowed 2 sacks. Our center allowed 1. We had 2 tackles for loss, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Had 6 deflections, 0 forced fumbles, 0 blocked kicks, 0 safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns, and our kicker went 4 for 4 on extra points, 1 of 1 for field goal. That is our very first win as a program. Alright, let's see if we can do it again at home versus Liberty. Alright, we did get a commitment from Nathan Parnes, a 3-star athlete, currently projected as a run stopper linebacker, 6'1", 244 out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, rated the 67th at the position of linebacker, 155th in the state, and 1398 nationally. Alright, looks like Rice has jumped in on Spriggs. Let's see if we can save this recruitment. We'll schedule a visit for the next week versus Kennesaw State. We will sell him on campus lifestyle. Everything we can to try to save this recruitment. Add this 5 to Isaac Prude, although we're going to switch this to a soft sell. I know our overall went up to 71, so somebody got better. Alright, we did lose the Liberty game, so we are now 1-5. We are at home this week against 3-3 Kennesaw State. We did not get any commitments or lockouts. We're still looking good on Jamario Murphy. We're still looking unopposed, good unopposed on Rico Lorenzo. We did retake the lead on Spriggs, And we've got the visit this week, so hopefully that'll pay off. Still unopposed on Hutchison. Got a decent sizable lead for Short. Unopposed on Poole. We are in the lead for Prude. Let's swap this to a hard sell. Let's see what happens with this game with 3-3 Kennesaw State. We did lose. We did lose to Kennesaw State. We are now 1-6. Let's check the recruiting board. We got a commitment from Deshaun Short. So he is an agile offensive guard, 6'2", 328 pounds. From Hollandale, Florida, rated 29th at his position, 79th in the state, and 726th nationally. No other commitments or lockouts. Alright, we're still unopposed on Jamario Murphy. Still unopposed on Lorenzo. We have the slightest of margins of lead on Trendon Spriggs. So this is going to be a very tight race. Hopefully we don't make it all the way to week 14 where they get their visit in. Matt Hutchison we're unopposed on. Poole unopposed. Isaac Prude, we've got a decent lead over FAU. Let's hope we can maintain that. Yeah, unfortunately Duke has taken control of the Kenyon Bolin recruitment. Now we have some hours to add, so let's see if we can fight back a little bit on that. I think they're still going to get him, but we're at least going to make the push. This is going to be the hometown hero pitch, which is not the greatest, but it's also not a bad one for us, so we will try to get Barry Tant on board with Kinetic State. Alright, we are at home this week against the 3-4 Jacksonville State Gamecocks. So we will see what happens here, if we can get our second win. We did not get our second win. Oh no, we did. For a second it showed us still at 1-6 on the last one. So we got our second win in FBS over the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, 34-28. And now we start a very long road swing of games. Both of our wins so far have been at home, so I'm not sure what that bodes well, if that bodes well for us on the road. Okay, we did lose out on Kenyon Bolin. Duke was able to get Kenyon Bolin, but we did get a commitment from Keenan Sermons. Keenan Sermons is an athlete currently projected as a possession-style tight end, 6'5", 225 out of Clewiston, Florida, 52nd at the position, 108th in the state, 954th nationally ranked. Alright, so we're very close to a commitment from Jamario Murphy, still good on Rico Lorenzo. It is neck and neck for Trendon Spriggs, so we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Alright, so we've got Isaac Prude. We were very close to a commitment there. Alright, we got FAU jumping in on Connor Hendricks. Let's try to maintain our lead here. Let's see, is it worth doing the sell here? It is not worth doing the sell. We could try to sway. We've got a little bit of leeway. So let's try to hit a sway. We'll try to sway him to campus personality. And then while we do that, we will add in some time here. Alright, and then for Barry Tant, we've got 10 extra hours we can go ahead and put on top here to try to maintain that lead. Alright, on the road versus 4-4 Western Kentucky. Let's see what happens. Will we get our first road game? No, we do not. We are now 2-7. Okay, looks like, okay, so we did lose out on Spriggs, unfortunately. We lost out on Spriggs, but we did get 2 commitments here. We got a commitment from athlete projected as a scrambler quarterback, a hidden gem, Jamario Murphy from Conway, South Carolina, 6'1", 202 pounds. He is rated 48th overall at the position of quarterback, 11th in the state of South Carolina, and 625th nationally. We also got a commitment from Isaac Prude, who is a run stopper style middle linebacker, inside linebacker, out of Tallahassee, Florida, 6 foot, 240 pounds, 42nd rated at the position, 84th in the state, and 764th nationally. Let's take a look at our board. Alright, so we got Rice. Now that they've gotten Spriggs, are trying to jump in on George Mandarino. Let's see if we can maintain our lead here. Pitch, campus personality. Alright, Connor Hendricks, we're maintaining our lead here. We have not swayed him on his pitch yet. For Barry Tant, we've got a decent lead, but let's go ahead and maximize our hours now that we have the hours to spare. Alright, and then we've got Nick Milley. We've got USF and FAU both making late pushes for him. Let's get our hard sell on him for campus personality. Load up the hours. Looks like we are going to be out on Frederick Cunningham. So we've got 10 extra hours here. Let's go see if there's any new prospects that might have gone overlooked so far. It does not look like any 4 stars. What are we missing? What's a major need for us to try to get here? Could use another defensive end. Or a safety. So let's find one and add him to the board. It's a slot corner. We could move to safety. But here's a safe. Well, he's a run support. He would end up being a linebacker for us. There's a zone safety, Darren Gay, but he has currently got an offer. I want to try to find one that has gone under the radar. Here's a defensive end. He's a power rusher, but that's all right. So we'll add George Coates to the board. I like that they've added that little question before backing out of recruiting. Alright, so this week we are on the road against the 3-6 Sam Houston Bearcats. Let's see what happens. Will we get our first road win? does not look like we got our first road win. We are now 2-8. Excuse me. Alright, so no more lockouts, no commitments, but we do have University of Houston jumping in on Rico Lorenzo. We're going to have to shift some resources here because I don't want to lose out on him. Okay, we've got a pretty sizable lead here with Hendricks. We haven't, the sway has not worked though, so I think we're close enough to a commit. We're going to abandon the sway. We're just going to put on, we're going to send the house with him. We're going to keep the extra 25 off for now. Got a decently sized lead here. Let's take the 25 from here. See what we can do here. We're not going to have a good pitch with Lorenzo, so we're just going to send the house. Alright, we are on the road against 3-7 New Mexico State. Let's see what happens with this game. And we are now 2-9. We lost to New Mexico State on the road. Alright, we did get a commitment. 2 commitments. So that's good. Alright, so we got a commitment from Tyreek Graves, an athlete currently projected as a physical style wide receiver, right here in our hometown, Deerfield Beach, Florida. 6'1", 192, ranked 99th overall at the wide receiver position, 90th in the state of Florida, and 806th nationally. Let's see, Barry Tant is an athlete currently projected as an agile offensive lineman out of Lakeland, Florida, 6'3", 286. It's rated 76th at the position, 185th in the state of Florida, and 1671st in the national rankings. Alright, so let's maximize our hours on Lorenzo, because we are not able to hard sell him and try to keep ahead of the Cougars there. Alright, now we got Troy jumping in on Brian Silva, so let's try to keep this recruitment alive. We've got a good pitch with him, so this shouldn't be too hard to close out. We don't have, okay, if I take this off, I can add that then. Alright, with George Mandarino, it looks like we may be able to hold off Rice on this recruitment. We're just going to stay pat, and if we don't get a commitment this week, it should be the week after. Connor Hendricks, same deal. We've got one more week to try to keep FAU from overtaking us. They did gain a lot this last week, but that was also their visit week, and I don't believe, even if they had that same amount of influence gain, that which they won't, that they would overtake us for this recruitment. So we currently still have a lead over USF and FAU for Nick Milley. So let's advance and see what happens. Alright, so we are 2-9 on the road to end the season against the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I used to live at one point right down the road from that campus. Let's advance and see what happens. Can we pull the upset in our first road win? Doubtful, but stranger things have happened. Not this time though. We finished the season 2-10, 2-8 in conference play in our second season in the FBS. Let's see. But that's 2 more wins than we had in season 1. We did get a couple commitments. No lockouts, so let's look. So first we got a commitment from defensive tackle Brian Silva, run stopper style out of Saraland, Alabama, 6'2", 325, 39th rated at the position, 41st in the state of Alabama, 782nd nationally. We got Connor Hendricks, a defensive end speed rusher style out of Immokalee, Florida. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. If anybody from Immokalee is watching, you can comment the pronunciation. I'll try to make sure I hit that correctly in the future. He is 6'2", 226, rated 35th overall at the position of defensive end, 142nd in the state of Florida, 1,299th rated nationally. And then we did get a commitment also from outside linebacker Anthony Terrell, a power rusher style outside linebacker out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So an edge at linebacker, 6'2", 229, 79th rated at the position, 193rd in the state, and 1,717th rated nationally. Looks like we are going to be successful in fending off the Houston Cougars. I want to know why they're able to schedule visits for Week 16. That is Conference Championship Week. Why are we not allowed to do that? I don't understand. But that said, it looks like we are going to be successful in our recruitment there. Looks like we have had Duke jump in on Nick Sneed. Duke will likely be able to overtake us, but we will do what we can to try to fend them off. Campus personality pitch and contact friends and family. We are about to get a commitment from George Mandarino. I think we can safely take off these extra hours. We've got FAU jumping in on Miguel Benitez. We do have a good pitch with him, so let's get that hard sell going with campus personality. And we'll contact friends and family. And it looks like we are going to hold off USF and FAU on Nick Milley. We'll go ahead and add on some hours just to guarantee that. And I'm going to add this extra 5 onto George Coates to try to get to the top of his recruiting board. Alright, let's advance to Conference Championship Week. Alright, so we did get a commitment from Rico Lorenzo and George Mandarino, as well as Sam Tufel, Miguel Benitez, Nick Milley. So we got 5 commitments this week. That's good. Not sure if it'll let us take a look at it. It is not going to let us take a look at this time. So my contract was extended, another 1-year contract. Thankfully, I did not get fired. Although, I mean, we tripled our. We got 2 more wins this year than we did last year, which last year's total was 0. It will not, because I extended my contract. Okay, so that's something to take note of. If you sign your contract, you cannot fire your coordinators. That's interesting. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't going to fire the coordinators anyway. I think that they've done reasonably well, considering. So, yeah, let's advance to the postseason, where we are not bowl eligible and we are not going to be hiring new coordinators. So I'm pretty sure that we can just advance through this. Cade Klubnik won the Heisman. Alright, so unless one of our guys gets poached, I think that's going to be fine. Let's advance. have some guys at risk of transferring due to play style. That is what it is. Did we have anybody poached? We did not. Just curious what job offers I'm getting offered. I'm not going to take them, but Marshall head coach, JMU head coach, Kennesaw State head coach. I'm actually going to look at my season stats. So for the season, our transfer quarterback with this horrendous roster was able to pass for 2,657 yards, 203 completions out of 361 attempts, 22 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, only a 56% completion percentage. He did get sacked 22 times, which is not good. Our top leading rusher was our quarterback as well, who's a field general, so that's not very good. With 129 carries, I'm assuming most of those are scrambles, for 564 yards, 1 fumble. Our starting running back, Monty Watkins, had 97 carries for 378 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble. And Hassan Wilson had 81 carries, 336 yards, 4 touchdowns, no fumbles. Our leading receiver was transfer true freshman Jacquin Lorello with 757 yards on 45 catches, 8 touchdowns. Chuck Montgomery was a transfer that we had come in, 39 receptions, 502 yards, 4 touchdowns. David Hajrulahu, true freshman, had 23 catches, 386 yards, 4 touchdowns. Our transfer Nick Elksness at tight end had 30 catches with 362 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Monty Watkins, our running back, had 36 catches, 341 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Also 1 touchdown by James Polanco, a transfer wide receiver. For the year, we gave up 21 sacks. 9 of them came from Donovan Hardy, so that's not great. But, to be fair, Donovan Hardy was one of the 12 overall players that we had on the team from the start, and he has advanced from a 12 overall to a 72 overall with pocket shield, PA shield, and wear down. So, we'll see what he does next season. On defense, our leading tackler was outside linebacker Jabari Ali, true freshman, followed up by Bryce Edmondson, a transfer middle linebacker that we had in the first offseason. Most tackles for loss came from Benji Boyette, a true freshman edge, and from Des McHenry, a redshirt freshman edge. Those two were our leading sack getters, with 3 for Boyette, 2 for McHenry. We had 4 interceptions. Damian Latimer, a true freshman corner. Joe Bonilla, a true freshman corner. Anthony Alvera, a true freshman linebacker. And Zaire McNeil, a redshirt freshman transfer slot corner. Leader in deflections was also Damian Latimer, along with slot corner Eric Gammon, true freshman. And our kicker, Nick Ruiz, who did pretty good this year. 13 of 15 field goals, 86%. Longest was a 47-yarder in his freshman season, and he was perfect for extra points. He had 5 from 49. 5 of 5 from 49, 6 of 6 from 39, 2 of 2 from 29. and he attempted 2 of 50 or more and missed them both. Punter, let's give him some props too. 56 punts, 2,329 yards, an average of 41.6 yards per punt. Longest was a 62 yard. Let's advance to the Natty and see who wins the Natty in year 2 of this dynasty. It's going to be USC versus Clemson. And the winner of the 2025 National Championship in this dynasty is Clemson with a 40-10 victory over USC. Let's advance to the players leaving. Okay, we did get another commitment from Emil Poole out of Lexington, Mississippi. Alright, last year we had a whole bunch of players leave. This year we've got 2 players leaving. It says with 0 chance of getting them to return. They have one is a 47 overall slot corner, Rondell Forbes. I'm okay with him leaving. And Malik Prather and 16 overall safety. I don't really want either one of them to return anyway, so bye. We are losing a lot of our transfers that we had last season. We brought in a bunch of transfers in the transfer portal, so we're losing Timmy McClain, our starting quarterback, Hashawn Wilson, our starting running back, Watkins and Anderson, our backup running backs, Chuck Montgomery, one of our receivers, our leading tight end, starting tight end Elksness, our second and third string quarterbacks in Cargman and Easters, our starting middle linebacker Edmondson, and a defensive tackle Quentin Dyson, who was on the team originally. Alright, let's see. Obviously, we didn't have anybody drafted. Let's look at the transfer portal. Let's look at our recruiting board. So we currently got... Alright, so we actually got a bunch of commits here. So let's take a look at them real quick. So we got Emil Poole, an athlete projected as a scrambler quarterback out of Lexington, Mississippi. 6 foot, 210. 59th rated at his position, 11th in the state, 730th national. We had George Mandarino, a defensive tackle out of Magnolia, Texas, power rusher, 312 pounds, 6'2", rated 44th at the position. We got cornerback Sam Tufel out of Vero Beach, Florida, 5'10", 185, rated 75th highest corner. We got 3-star Miguel Benitez, offensive lineman, pass protector style, out of Miami, Florida, 6'2", 322, rated 26th at his position. Nick Milley, offensive lineman, guard, agile style, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 6'5", 325, rated 22nd overall at his position. And so that leaves us with these guys all still with us in pursuit. I'd say we're looking good on all of them. Let's take a look at our potential needs where we missed in the recruiting. We do need one more running back. Let's see. Actually, I think our biggest need is a couple safeties, but aside from that, we'll see what's available. So let's pare it down to those that are interested in us with at least 3-star rating or better. Okay, so we got a couple guys here. Let's take a look at them. If it's any that I recognize. Well, I mean, you and other people were complaining I don't talk enough on here, so I'm talking through it. So there's no safeties here that we can go for, so I actually need to try to look for a couple safeties that are going under the radar, see if there's any that haven't been recruited yet. Let's see. Too late to jump in on them. That says they have an offer, but I don't know from who. Let's look and see who they have an offer from. Okay, it's none of their top schools, so we could try to jump in on this guy. We'll try. I mean, I can turn the mic off if it bothers you, Ripstar. I'd be just as happy sitting here playing it and listening to podcasts. So there are no strong safeties that are under the radar. Is there another free safety that I can move over there? Looks like, okay, so we could potentially jump in on this guy, Greg Swearinger. Oh, wait, we're first on this? Oh wait, okay, so, hold on. How? Okay, so we haven't offered him, but we're first on his board. But he's run support. I would end up moving him to linebacker. But I'm not going to be picky. He has us first on his board, so we'll do that. But we're going to try to jump in on Swearinger as well. So let's go back and look at the transfer portal, see who we want to bring in. Let's see. Could bring in another transfer quarterback. I did just get a whole bunch of quarterbacks, true freshmen, but none of them are going to be ready to start this year. We lost our other ones, so possibly Nick Evers. Could bring in Khalifa Keith, a sophomore, power back. Although here's a freshman power back out of Virginia Tech. I kind of like him a little bit better. So we're gonna go for, okay, so we're gonna go for all these quarterbacks, field generals, they are. So we're gonna go for Nick Evers, we're gonna go for Kiki Stoner, we're gonna go for Milton Hopkins Jr., we're gonna go for Kevin Terry, and Julius Tate. Actually, we'll go Yeah, I mean, I can do it. I just get bored sometimes and want to listen to podcasts while I play. And when there's nobody in here, it's just like, sometimes I'm just like, why? So, that's cool. Okay. So, let's see. Let me get these transfers up at the top of the board. Because until we see otherwise, we're going to assume that we're going to have competition on them. We do have competition. We'll go to the top. Sent out to these guys. Get a baseline of 5 hours on each person, and then just recruit from top down like I normally do. I am going to end this video after we get done with the transfer portal, because I need to jump over to one of my leagues and handle a couple things there. I may go live again later on tonight. So we got a couple commits here, Nick Sneed and Taj Cavesbaharn. Glad we were able to keep Sneed over Duke. They've already stolen a couple recruits from us. Got locked out of Terry, that's not good, but it's alright. Alright, so we got Sneed, power back out of Riverdale, Georgia, 5'11", 231, 72nd at his position. Taj Cavesbaharn, defensive tackle, power rusher, Bradenton, Florida, 6'2", 311, rated 47th at his position. Alright, so we got Cushenberry here with an offer from Arkansas. I don't know if we're going to be able to compete with Arkansas, man. I don't think we're going to be able to compete with Arkansas. I'm just going to bail on that recruitment. We're not going to be able to compete with Arkansas. They're in on this one too, but they don't have a pipeline edge over us with DeJuan Pitts. And we've got a better pitch with this guy for hard sell. we did with the other one. So let's load that up. Oh, wait, we can't do it yet. We will though. For Swearinger, looks like we're competing with Buffalo, or excuse me, Colorado Buffaloes. Ooh, we have a little bit of a lead, but they have a pipeline advantage on this guy. We're not going to have a great pitch for him, but as of right now, we're still in it. My birthday is March 2nd. Let's see. Blue, I mean obviously maize and blue, teal, cyan, and purple. Like the ECU helmet, the chrome purple. That's one. Those are my favorite. Or plum crazy purple, if you're familiar with car colors. That's why the colors of this team are literally cyan, a plum crazy purple, and blue. Those are literally the colors of this team. Can I figure out what his hard sell is? Figure out if it's going to be good for us or not. So it's not going to be good for us. So we are just going to load up sending the house. Pitch plain style on the visit. Florida State trying to jump in on Hogue. That's not good. We don't have a great, but it's not a horrible hard sell here, so we will hard sell this. I almost feel like I should pull hours off somewhere else. I don't really have hours to pull off anywhere else. Florida State might fuck us on that guy, but we'll see. Let's advance to week 3. Right, we got Matt Hutchison, a quarterback, or excuse me, cornerback. Let's see, DeLon Pitts. So we do have a good pitch with him, so let's get that going. We got the visit going for him as well. Pitching campus lifestyle. It's great to be in Florida. Looks like we're looking good on Evers. Don't have a horrible pitch here. I think that's still a net gain, so we're going to switch to the hard sell here. What is that store? Yeah, starter. This is the one we don't have a great pitch on, so we're just going to keep sending the house. Style. I don't think we've unlocked enough to know what his pitch is going to be, so we'll just keep sending the house there. Let's try to close out this commit with Kofi Hogue and shut out Florida State. See if we can hold off Georgia Southern and FAU here. Alright, we're going into the final week of transfer portal. Alright, fortunately we are out. How are we out on Hopkins? We didn't recruit another defensive end from last week to this week. Nobody else is recruiting him. It doesn't fucking make any sense, dude. Whatever. But we did get a quarterback in Nick Evers, so we've got like 5 quarterbacks in this cycle. It's fine. I think we're still going to end up with Milton Hopkins as a commitment, but we'll see. We did keep Florida State at bay with Kofi Hogue. Look at our board now. We are staying ahead of Arkansas for Dewan Pitts. We're keeping ahead of Illinois and Colorado for Swearinger. We don't have a good pitch at all here. But we will schedule... Oh, I didn't mean to do that, so that could be bad, but whatever. So we'll probably just lost Swearinger because I misclicked the focus of his visit. Looks like we will get Stoner. We're looking good for Tate. Let's see. Don't have a good pitch there. For Tate, do we have a good pitch? It's not horrible. We'll go ahead and switch to it to try to ensure that we get Tate. Southern at bay. We'll do a visit here with him for campus lifestyle. Campus personality pitch. And then, let's see, did anybody else jump in? No, nobody else has jumped in on him, so I think we're still getting him. So we'll just load up hours to try to stay ahead of. It's not the worst pitch. Still a net gain. Alright, let's advance to National Signing Day, see what we get, and then I will be ending the stream. I may come back on stream later, but we did get Stoner, we got Julius Tate, we got Dewan Pitts, James Cashman. Let's look and see if we got that defensive end. Did. Again, the thing with Milton Hopkins, it was so weird. We should have gotten him. So we got 33 recruits this year, same number we got last year. Let's see where we ranked for the class. 39th overall for the class for a 1-star school. I'm going to count that as a win. Alright, I'm gonna call it for this stream. I'm gonna go take care of a couple things. I might be back later to do some more. We'll see. But y'all have a good night.